Is this recording? Yeah, it's recording. Hello and welcome to the most peaceful place where the fruiting plants and animals roam free. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of them as they make this piece of haven very enjoyable for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to Peaceful Village. Thank you for joining me. I'm Michael Anfield from Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community. Have a very important video. All you folks that love the medical and pharmaceutical industry. And you know what? I lump all supplements into that as well because they're all made in laboratories anyways, all those supplements and pharmaceuticals. And the medical industry, it's all part of the cabal, about part of society, part of our culture. And slowly, I'm walking away from this. So I want to talk to you about my feelings about the whole entire medical industry. And I'm talking about vaccinations, uh, medications, surgeries, hospitals, doctors, all of it. Okay? Supplements, everything. Now, I used to take a lot. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. I used to take at least fair share of medications in the past and supplements as well. You name it, from children's vitamins to multivitamins to specific nutrients and so many things. And I went to the doctor who knows how many times for silly things, and to the hospital for many things, and I had surgeries as well. And the last big surgery was the vasectomy, which I had, I don't know, so many years ago, I can't even remember when. And also I had a filling done before I came here to this place. And never again I'm going to support the medical industry at all. No dentist, no doctors of any sort whatsoever. Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm talking about doctors like general practitioners, medical doctors, unless they're vegans and they support this cruelty-free lifestyle. So, yeah. Anyways, so the medical industry is part of the whole shebang, the whole system. We really don't know their intentions. Yes, there are some doctors that have really good intention to helping people and they think that they're doing the best for humans. But overall, they really don't know what they're doing. Overall, most doctors, if not all doctors, really don't know what they're doing. And unfortunately, it's just a system of violence, where they dissect the person. They take every little thing. There's a foot doctor, there's a joint doctor, there's a spinal doctor, there's a doctor for the brain, there's a doctor for the ears, nose, mouth, there's a doctor for the stomach, there's a doctor for this and that, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, the medical industry, we don't really know what they're doing, especially after this pandemic happened. And you know what? I really don't trust anything to do with the medical and pharmaceutical industries. I'm completely away from them. If I get seriously injured, I'm not going to any hospital. I will solve it with more natural therapies or more natural foods, herbs, fruits, juices, these kinds of things. So I don't need fastings and sleep and meditation and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so I don't really need anybody to tell me what to do that really doesn't know what they're doing. A lot of these people are so overweight. So again, they're very good, intentional people that are in the medical industry, and I'm talking about all practitioners, including the natural ones and naturopathic, homeopathic, all of that, all part of the system, all the small clinics and all the people involved, it's all part of the problem. Yeah. So, I want nothing to do with that, because I don't know what they're going to do to my body. I don't want them to put something in my body that I don't really know what it is. And even though they tell me, oh, it's safe, oh, it's this, it's safe, I don't trust them, because they really don't know. I remember in the past, a few people had their bones broken, and they had cast. One guy had a cast on his leg, one guy had a cast on his arm, and they have, at least one of them had, but this other one had a lot of problems with that. They put the cast, usually what the doctors do, or not usually, but some of the doctors do, is they put the cast on too tight. Basically, we shouldn't have cast at all. We should be resting and sleeping and juicing and fasting and drinking a lot of rainwater and this kind of things to heal that, instead of putting something on and squeezing it and not getting enough oxygen and circulation through that part of the body. And some people say, yeah, but the bone needs to go together, and no, I've seen people having like broken bones and having like metal rods put into their bones, and it's like, what the hell are you doing putting metal things in your body that are foreign, that are dangerous? We're not meant, our bodies are not meant to have foreign things in our body. That is why absolutely I don't trust anything about the medical industry. And you know what they say, some people, about this thing that happened several years ago, the big thing that shut the world. And I'm not gonna mention any names, because you know who can take this down. Somebody that begins with the letter A and the letter G, too, which is basically the same company. But when you think about it, that is all a game. That is all a show. Yeah, it is all a show to keep people in fear. That's right, to keep people in fear. When people are not living holistically, not eating holistically, and just overall truly healthy, of course their immune system is going to be weak. And then we got to protect them. So we're going to take the vaccination and protect them, the people that have the weak immune systems. We're going to have to take the vaccination. Well, they too. But we're going to have to take vaccinations and pollute our bodies, which we don't know what's in the vaccination. Some people say there's nanotechnologies and there's microchips and who knows what. But we're going to have to put that into our bodies, into our healthy bodies, or somewhat healthy, so that they can be safe, the people that are sick. What ridiculous thing. So we have to put all the serum or the vaccinations or whatever it is into our bodies just to protect somebody who is sick. Okay? I reiterated that because it's very important to understand that why do we have to protect other people that are sick? Because you care about humans. I care about humans. That's why I care about myself. I don't want to put any toxic things in my body that I don't know what it is. And also, that thing that governments or whoever, pharmaceutical companies make, are not made, probably are made from the elements of nature, but then they're somehow manipulated, and who knows what they do in a laboratory, and then eventually that product is no longer natural anymore. It's a manipulated, human-made, who knows, genetically modified vaccinations or whatever it is. it's when people say you don't care about humans or you're selfish, it's like, hey, you're selfish about yourself because you're not taking care of yourself. You're putting something into your body that basically you don't need just to protect somebody that has a weak body, a weak immune system, or a weak nervous system. So, doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't want to be any part, I don't want to have any part of that. And I want to speak out against this because it's horrible and it's killing a lot of people, or has killed a lot of people, and it still continues to kill a lot of people because from what I hear from people, this nonsense is still going on. After many years, it's still going on. And as some people say, it's an endemic. It never will end. Well, who knows? Those people out there, somewhere, I don't know who they are, the group of small people that are ruling the world, I should say ruling society, because the world is amazing, Earth is amazing. Society is not so amazing, even though we still support it because we go there for our food, we buy a lot of stuff as much as possible from the local indigenous markets, and we try to get whatever we can, or we're trying to at least. Here it's hard to find organic and to find really wholesome food, but we're trying to grow as much as food as we can on our land. We have a lot of plants growing. We have over 60 different varieties of plants, a lot of them fruiting trees and fruiting plants. So we have a lot of things growing on the land, and a few more years we're going to have some more production of this food, more harvesting. So that's the whole key, is to walk away from society, get away from the medical and pharmaceutical and supplement industries, because we don't need them. You know? Now, some people say, now let's talk a little bit about surgeries and supplements, because people say, well, if you break a bone, well, just in case, you need health coverage. Now, there are some places, for example, like Canada, that have more or less free health care. To some extent, there are some things you have to pay for. Certain other countries also like that. Some countries maybe in European Union. I can't remember which ones, but yeah, some of them. But for the most part, people have to pay for their health coverage from the hospitals or medical industry. And even so, maybe not everything is completely covered even when you pay. So that's the thing. It's sometimes a monthly contribution. Sometimes you have to pay separately for a big surgery. But when it comes to stuff like broken bones or really like a serious injury, if we are truly living holistically and truly eating healthfully, that should not be a problem to really take care of in a matter of a few weeks, few months. The rare case, maybe a few years. I'm very so sure. I even read some books that mention that you can heal bones naturally. You don't need the medical industry. You don't need cast and all these surgeries and things. So there's a lot of mistakes that doctors make, and we don't really know what they're doing in hospitals, you know. When I was younger, as a child, I had my tonsils removed, and I don't know what that does for the body. Our tonsils are very important for some reason. Now I don't have it. Maybe, somehow over time, especially getting more healthier and things like this, probably it can regrow. Who knows? Just like the third set of teeth, maybe they can regrow. That was in The Green Beautiful or Bella Verte. Basically, the film says that the lady was regrowing the third set of teeth. So it's possible. Never say never. It's possible. So hasn't happened yet to me, but it's possible. So yeah, I don't really trust anything to do with the medical industry. I don't care if we have a family, if I have a family doctor and they say, oh, it's so healthy, oh, you need to do that, oh, you need to do this, but a lot of times they don't even know. For example, there was a doctor that I heard of, a dentist, that said flossing is not good. Don't floss at all. And he would tell only certain patients and certain people because he didn't want to get so much into trouble. He's like, don't tell anybody, but flossing is not good for your teeth. Don't do it. You know. But now, because we have so many problems with our teeth, and some people have very wide gaps in between their teeth or very small, too close together the teeth, and sometimes when we're eating certain things, like animals or like the flesh of animals or certain fruits that have a lot of fiber or something, like sometimes pineapple or things like this, sometimes they get stuck in between the teeth, and sometimes you need floss, but we can't be abruptive. We need to be very, very gentle and careful what we're doing when we are taking care of our teeth and doing this kind of thing. I don't use normal toothpaste and normal floss and all this kind of thing. I use a vegan floss. I don't use any more toothpaste. I use basically lemon or baking soda. Times I don't even use that. Sometimes I just brush with water. Sometimes I don't even brush. Brushing sometimes is really detrimental to the teeth, so I brush just once a day. In the morning, I brush my tongue with baking soda and lemon, and my teeth just with water, basically. Even baking soda is a laboratory kind of thing. We don't really know where it comes from, so I want to transition somehow to something better, but still releasing a lot of mucus, and still, as everybody else, nobody's healthy, so I'm healing as well, holistically. Now I'm in nature, so I'm getting all this sun, I'm getting all this beauty around me. I'm drinking wholesome water from the rain. I'm eating more wholesome food, more local stuff from the indigenous markets. So yeah, we don't need the medical industry. Let's think about that. Do we really need the medical industry? Let's think about that. What about if you get again? What happens if you really get seriously injured? Some snake bites you and you have to. Well, if you're living holistically, you're raw vegan or eating fruitarian or vegan transitioning that way to that, and you're living as holistically in nature, in the tropics or subtropical areas, you're doing your best to be as healthy as possible, you're getting enough sleep, you're doing some physical movement, you're putting your hands in the soil, you're walking naked. By the way, I usually don't wear clothes on the land, just when it's cold, but now, because of this one company, you know who you are. You know who you are. If I go naked on here, I'm going to be banned. So I can't do that. So, the whole idea really is to forego trusting anybody and trusting our own inner healing with the right conditions, with the right environmental conditions and the right food intake and the right things going on our body. What's going on our body? Chemicals, chemical products, or lemon, lime, bananas, avocados, mangoes, oranges. Yeah. We can wash with fruits. Yeah, and then jump in the river or wherever natural water that you have, natural water source that you have, and clean ourselves. Very, very, very crucial that we do this and not get shampoos and soaps and use municipal water and all this kind of thing. We need to go to a pristine, more pristine area, and wash in the waterfalls, in the rain, in the rivers, the big streams, these kind of things, you know. So, lastly, I want to talk about supplements, because people think supplements is the answer because we live in toxic society, toxic world, the environment is polluted, and the soil is depleted, and even when we're buying organic, we need supplements. Well, I have news for you folks, and this is the truth. Isolated vitamins and minerals and whatever else, even if it's considered a whole food powder, there's no such thing, because the whole foods require that the water is still in the food. And so a powder has absolutely no water. It's dehydrated junk. And it's isolated, so it has isolated nutrients. Even if it's a multivitamin or multi-supplement, no matter what it says on the label, if it says organic, if it says vegan, if it says raw vegan, it's toxic. Get rid of it. We don't need it, because these are isolated nutrients that our bodies can't synthesize, our bodies can't assimilate. It just doesn't know what to do with it. So what it does, it either poops or urinates it out, or most of it will just store in the body as inflammation, as toxins, as mucus, as a whole host of other things. So we don't need that kind of stuff. You know, eat real food, people. Plants. Wild edibles is very good. Wild edibles are natural food that grows in nature, wild, like naturally, just wild in nature. And we have many of these plants here growing wild. We have, for example, this kind of thing called toilet paper plant. And there's many different plants called toilet paper plant. I don't know the exact name, but they have little like kind of blueberries on them, and those are powerhouse full of whatever elements that we need for our bodies. So that is amazing. Now they're very, very, very small. They're smaller than a blueberry, but they are incredible. You can put them in juice, you can put them in salads, you can put them in smoothies, you can put them in desserts, you can put them wherever. They're so good, okay? They are similar to blueberries, not exactly tasting to blueberries, but blueberries. Now there's another plant that looks similar to the toilet paper plant, and it has similar type of berries, a little bit smaller. Personally, I don't really like them, but they're also edible too. What else to say? So though that is one, we have also a lot of leafy green, not a lot, but we have a few leafy greens and other plants that kind of grow wild, but we've cultivated them here because they don't grow particularly in this area. They grow close enough, some 20-30 kilometers away, but close enough, and we planted them here. They're called cranberry hibiscus. I don't know if I can show you that one moment. Okay, I'm back. I didn't have any of my clippers, but basically this is katuk. Sometimes I think they call also sweet leaf. And this is the cranberry hibiscus. Very nice tasting. This is kind of a little bit spicy. Kind of a little bit tangy flavor. This one is a little bit sweet. I don't know why I have hair. Yeah, very nice. These are growing. This grows wild in many places around in these areas, but in this particular land there's none growing wild. We just cultivated them. Yeah, we're gonna be eating those later. So yeah, and they grow like crazy. Yeah. So there's a lot of them here. So we don't need doctors, we don't need hospitals, we don't need pharmaceutical industry, we don't need anything. If we have a cold, that is telling us something, people. If we feel sick, that is telling us something. Our bodies are telling us, hey, you need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to eat better, you need to live holistically. You need to be in a better area, tropical area. You need to be jumping in the rivers, swimming in the rivers. You need to be taking in the best food, the best sun, the best air, the best nature. Yeah, that is all about it, folks. It's all about, really about trusting in nature and reconnecting to the power of nature rather than reconnecting to the, I don't know what to say, reconnecting to the doctors and the hospitals and the pharmaceutical industry and the society and the propaganda and the fear and all of this stuff. We don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. Some people might say, well, you're unhealthy. You need to see a doctor. You need to get your blood checked. Well, taking blood out of us is horrible. It's not good because it takes the life force out of us. Blood is life. So when we take blood out, we lose a part of life, our vitality, our life. There's a beautiful animal here, right here. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Beautiful animal here. He loves my whatever on my fingers. Right here. He loves me, this guy. I don't know what animal he or she is, but some type of flying insect. Hi, fella. How are you? I know you love me, but right now I'm doing a video. So, goodbye. So, we don't need anything. You know, we get all we need from plants, especially from fruits. And some people say, but people justify and have all kinds of crazy questions like protein, this, that. We need the medical industry. We need to protect ourselves because they're in fear. Fear that something's going to happen to them in the future. So we need to protect ourselves. Put a jab in us in order to protect ourselves. You think really a jab that we don't really even know what's inside is going to save us? And who knows if they lie about really what's in it? In fact, I remember there was a doctor or a nurse, a pharmacist. And she was, I think, in the store that she was working in or somewhere, I can't remember now. And she took the vaccination for, you know what, that recently happened. She took, this was early on in the pandemic. And basically what happened was that she took out it was a very, very thick kind of manual inside the box, the box that had the jabs, basically, the medication. And you know what she did? She was unfolding and unfolding and unfolding and unfolding, and the thing was so big, it was this small somehow, very thick, and like very small. And then when she folded it and unfolded it, it became so big, like a big map, road map, that basically it had ingredients. I think ingredients was listed, but there was nothing under the ingredients. It was blank. It was blank. And she's like, wow, under ingredients, it's blank. There's no ingredients. And you know what? They don't need to write down any ingredients. They make the rules, these people. The medical industry is by far, medical and pharmaceutical industry is by far the most powerful industry in the world. Even before animal agriculture. Yeah, it's the most powerful industry in the world. Why do you think these corporations like A and G, what I was mentioning, why do you think these corporations, mega corporations, don't allow this kind of videos on their channels? You know why? Because they're being paid and they're protecting the large industries. The large pharmaceutical, medical, supplement, all this kind of stuff, which is basically the lump sum of society. So we need to get out of society, slowly walk away and start growing all our damn food, our fruits and vegetables. Yeah, and stop relying on cabal. Stop relying on those people that are above us, that ruin our lives, that make our lives, that give us stress and all kinds of things, and that program us and that create the news on TV and the radio, everywhere. My goodness, we need to get out of this system. The medical system, the pharmaceutical industry, not good, not good. Well, I just have it. I just told you all about it, folks. It's already 30 minutes. So I'm going to stop this video right now and say thank you for joining me in Peaceful Village. Yeah! Thank you, everybody. Visit peaceful-village.com. Become a volunteer, a guest, or you can even join us as a community member, as a volunteer or guest. Thank you for coming to Peaceful Village.